So vacancy rates vary from state to state, even suburb to suburb. And that's one of the top priorities for landlords, is having their property rented out, minimising the days on market and their vacant days. Is there any advice that you've got for property management businesses that are struggling to rent out properties?
Yep, good question, Damien. And I think it comes back to, I've shared in another episode, there's only 2 reasons that a property's not renting. Literally 2 reasons. The first one is the rent isn't in accordance with the market, and secondly is the advertising and marketing of the property. And it's quite interesting when I ask the question of some leasing consultants or property managers, what do you do if you're not getting any inquiry from the internet on a property? And their feedback is generally, well, we might modify the rent. Some of them just leave it listed. So definitely, as I mentioned, rent is important, but it's the marketing and advertising. So if you're not getting any inquiries on a property and it is in accordance with the market, you need to look at the wording of how you are describing or presenting the property.
I don't know, you were talking about one in an earlier episode about actually just changing that wording to attract a different audience to that property. Is that the type of thing you're talking about?
Definitely. Where you're talking about, I think, the episode where we were talking about targeting a market.
Yeah, targeting
so
a market.
If you wanted an elderly couple, then you say 2-bedroom, ground floor, very secure, quiet, walk to the bowls club.
But you could have that advertising, and like I see it online all the time, you have that advertising for a executive property because they've just copy and pasted and they've gone, oh, hang on. They haven't actually looked at the specifics of those properties.
Yeah, I think what a lot of property management team members or leasing consultants or property managers, they don't dedicate enough time to the wording. And I'll talk about how you can create more effective wording shortly, but I think what's more important is the shift or the change or evolution in the way that you actually present the photos or present the property online. It used to be traditionally a sales thing where you had virtual tours or video tours or floor plans. It's now becoming an expectation in property management as well that photos just aren't enough. So there's been some research actually undertaken that if you've got a virtual tour or a video, you will get over 400% more views than...
Floor plan's a big one for me.
Yeah, I think floor plans are great. You want to... And see, times have changed. I remember in the early days of my career, we didn't have the internet, we had the classifieds, and I guess any old school property managers listening will remember Tuesday afternoon, we used to get the 2 days to advertise was a Wednesday and a Saturday, and we had to quickly ring in our copy on a Tuesday and on a Friday, and then you were charged, I don't know whether this is before your time, but you were charged per line. So you used to add up and count all the words to be, I guess, money conscious for the investor. But so really important if you're not considering or embracing virtual tours or video tours to have a look at it.
Definitely.
The technology out there now is so affordable. Like you can do it on your iPhone. You can spend less than $200 on a camera. You can have your team members actually do these virtual and video tours. There's also companies out there that do amazing editing for like $2 a photo. So you go into a rental property, take a picture of the lounge room and it's an absolute mess. For $2, they can go in, take all that furniture out, put new furniture in, or if there's things on the wall. They can do amazing things with photos now.
It is really amazing, hey?
Yeah, but I think a lot of property managers say, well, Deb, it's not worth the investment because by the time we wait for the video, the property's rented. But now that it's so affordable and knowing the research, there's going to come a time where if you're just uploading photos, then you won't even get a look.
Yeah.
So that's how you present the property online, and you've got to remember it's a 24-hour display of the property. And one thing that really frustrates me, like when I go online to look for an investment property, it might say a 4-bedroom, living areas, 3 bathrooms, and then I'm flicking through the photos and I can only see 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. And I'm thinking, well, where's the other bedroom? Where's the other? I would suggest, if you're not doing a virtual video tour, to take photos of absolutely everything. If it's a 4-bedroom, even if one of the bedrooms is small, they're going to see the property anyway at some stage, but put as many photos as possible up on the listing. Now, another thing just quickly to be mindful of is the algorithms of how the rental portals work. So obviously they have large databases where tenants have logged in their details, have said they're looking for a 4-bedroom with a pool, and soon as you upload a 4-bedroom with a pool, then there will be an automated email to everyone that's looking for that type of property. Because what I find, and not a lot, but there's a handful of agencies that go, okay, we've got to list the property super quick, and they will often list the property even if they don't have the photos and have photos pending. But what that means is the algorithm of sending that listing, and it only happens once.
Yeah.
So when you upload it, it goes to everyone that's interested, and if they receive a property that's got photos pending or photos to come, they're just going to skip over it. So that's the presentation, whether it's photos, videos, or virtual tours. But another thing that's really important is the wording. And there's another concept of the features and the benefits. So the features are what the property is. It's a 4-bedroom, it's got a rumpus, it's got a pool, it's got a spa, and a fenced yard. And I mean, I often get online and have a look at different agencies advertising, one, to get ideas, and secondly, to see what's happening in the market. So the features is fine. Obviously, every tenant wants to know how many bedrooms and if there's a spa. But the benefit is, and I guess it's being more descriptive. You want to word your advertising so the reader or the prospective tenant can emotionally feel living in the property. So instead of saying, just simple things, instead of saying spa, you would say get cozy in the spa. So they can imagine what it's like being in the spa. Or if it had a pool and a barbecue area, I would word it, enjoy a Sunday afternoon barbie with friends and family and cool off in the pool. So they're the benefit is what they're going to experience. Or if it's got a microwave, it's got all modern conveniences, you could say save time with all of the modern conveniences. I mean, I do an hour and a half full training session on this, so it's more just thought-provoking tips. And I guess the final one with advertising is to create urgency. Now, not everyone is driven by urgency. I, in my younger years, definitely was. I remember going into a car yard and I just wanted to test drive it. I didn't even want to buy it, but I went into a car yard, test drove the car, fell in love with it, There was 4 of them there, all different colours. I liked the silver one. And I said, I'll go and think about it, because obviously I wanted to wheel and deal and I wanted to play the salesperson. And anyway, 3 hours, he telephones me back and he says, Deb, I just sort of give you a courtesy call. I've just taken someone for a test drive in the car that you like. And I've got a feeling that they could come back and buy it. So if you're interested, so he's creating urgency. And in my head, I'm going, is he working me?
Yeah.
Is he for real? But I wanted to buy this car. So anyway, ended up buying the car. 3 months later, the other 3 cars were still there. I'm sure he worked me. I didn't even think that I could have got the car from another car yard or in different location. Yeah. But creating urgency in your rental ad could be first one to see it will rent it, or a rare find, won't last long. So the elements, I guess in closing, is presentation of the property.
Yep.
And I could go into so many more details of, I see photos with boats out the front and wheelie bins out the front and creepy crawlies in the pool, which, as I said, there's companies out there that can delete all of that. But presentation of the property, the wording, be descriptive, let them feel it. And create urgency. So if you're not getting inquiry, not only look at adjusting the rent, but improving your photos, improving your text. And I would recommend for everyone listening to this episode to go and have a review of their current listings that they have online.